This is VanCam. This is VanCam. You waited for.
Is that right, Steve? Well, it's National Bring a Dog to Work Day. I brought your mum. Swivel on that one, dickhead. How are you doing, everybody? I am Kev Ashford, and you are very welcome to this week's edition of the ManUtd VanCam. Hope everybody is well. Well, do you know what? I was going to say a quick apology. Why should I apologise for YouTube trying to shut down ManUtd VanCam? I've had it so many times. I keep telling you, every time I put a video up, it's demonetized, which I'm not asked about. It's 10-15p or something. I can deal with that. But now there's all kinds of problems trying to upload videos. I've had videos taken down, and I just do not understand it, man. I can only think that somebody is, let's just say, they're flagging my videos up. So whether, and it could be a multitude of people. I brought all this on myself, I know. Don't feel sorry for me or anything. I'm not looking for that. It could be Fellaini. Could be Jesse Lingard. You know, let's get this guy shut down, mate. Could be Saeed. Could be so many people it could be. But I'm not, I am asked in a sense, because I put a lot into this. So when I'm spending a Friday night trying to upload it and I'm wasting, it's hours of my life I'm not going to get back for nothing that don't go out. And the main man, Dave Birtwistle, it was his birthday last week. 70 years old he is. 50 years old he was. The big 50, that's what it was. And I'd done all my birthday wishes for it. So now it's a week ago. I hope you had an absolute splendid birthday, mate. He was messaging me in the week. I think he was at the point where he said, is that it with VanCam now? Is it gone? Is it done? And I was fed up at that point. I'm not going to lie to you. I was thinking, do you know what? I'm just going to knock it on the head. I don't need this hassle. I don't need people trying to censor me. We live in a democracy. I'm open to my opinion. And I'm not preaching any religious hatred, any terrorism, anything like that. I'm talking about ManUtd, for Christ's sake. But anyway, loads has happened since I last spoke to you. We're going to be doing the big VanCam debate first, looking at the Ed Woodward house attack. That was a question for last week. I'm going to be asking about our new signing, Ighalo. You know what I mean? Was he a panic buy? The news will not shift that Pochettino is going to take over at the end of the season. What do you make of that? I think it'd be downright out of order to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who is trying to do the best he can. He's been dealt a bad hand. He's in his dream job. I feel sorry for him. I've already stated I'd love him just to walk away from United, hand in his resignation and give the parting shot to the Glazers and say, they promised me the earth and I've had nothing. I'm getting no backing, and Ed Woodward's an absolute tit as well. Ighalo, we'll get into that in the big VanCam debate. We'll do CockStroker of the week, of course we will. Is Saeed in it? Stick around, we might see. And what else will we do? The VanCam Fantasy Football League, and we'll have a quick look at a few of your comments. So the big transfer news this week is Manchester United being linked to Borussia Dortmund's 19-year-old wonder kid, Jaydon Sancho. Would you want him, Kev? Would you want him? Do bears shit in the woods? Yes, of course they do. Of course I'd love him at ManUtd. He's 19 years old, 100 million. I'm not asked, it's not my money. Let them fuckers buy him. You know, when we get the pleasure of watching him. Manchester United need players like Jaydon Sancho, and he fits the bill. With the direction we're going in, young, youthful, English players, Jaydon Sancho would be mint at ManUtd. I'd love to see him linking up with Rashford. It does say a lot. Is he looking at offloading Martial? I don't know, and to be honest, I don't really care. I want the best for ManUtd. I want players at this club who know what it's all about to represent Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? I would give my right hand, I give me left hand, yeah, the right, you need the right hand, don't you? I give me left hand to play for ManUtd, man. And some of these players need to understand that. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's going back to basics and he's getting it right. So Jaydon Sancho, Kev, would you sign him? Yes, of course I would sign him. And we need a few more players just like that. And we can start to mount a charge against them scouse bellends and them bitter blue-nosed bastards. Yeah? You having that? What a start to VanCam. I hope you are all well anyway. We might as well just fly straight into the big VanCam debate. Ed Woodward's house was attacked a couple of weeks ago. Has anybody been arrested? No. How many people did the Sun say were there? 20 people there. Not one has been arrested. So we will get into that now. It's the big VanCam debate. Cue the most magnificent man in the whole world, John Vallandigham.
The big VanCam debate!
Right, folks, this is the big VanCam debate. Last time around, I asked a question, and it was a heated debate because there was a lot of people throwing conspiracy theories out. There was a lot of people that weren't believing what the Sun were reporting. And why would we? Look at the back catalogue of shit that they have put out in the past. And it's easy to see, right? So the Sun run the headline, Ed Woodward's house attacked. This is unbelievable. It's out of order. Ed Woodward and his family aren't even in the house that night. So that's worked out all right for you, hasn't it? So we've got a supposed gang of the Men in Black, just because there's a few lads wearing Stone Island tracksuits. It must be the Men in Black. Lad's got a black coat on. Yeah, so they've turned up and there's a genuine threat to life. That's what we're being told. These lads have rocked up at Ed Woodward's house with flares and fireworks. Yeah, genuine threat to life. I'd like to think that if there was a threat to life, they'd be bringing grenades. You know what I mean? That was me pulling the pin on a grenade if somebody's wondering what is going on. I'm talking missile launchers, you know, the big stuff. But we were spoon-fed by the media, in particular the Sun, who got the exclusive. I said in my last video, it's something does not smell right or sit right with me about this, because why would United fans tip off the Sun? How did the Sun get there so quickly and report on this? But more to this now is the fact that in the weeks gone by since this apparent attack, no United fans have been arrested. Nobody has been arrested from the 20 lads that were there at the house that night. And now there's a twist, because Man United have they've only gone and reported the Sun. And this makes it even more interesting, because United are trying to say that if the Sun were tipped off and there was an apparent threat to life, then would they have just sat back and watched it if something was going to happen? Let me get the phone, I'll come back to you. Not even been in an accident. Yeah, so with everything that I told you, the suspicious circumstances surrounding this apparent house attack, I put the question out and asked you, did you think it was a PR stunt by the Sun? A simple yes or a no. I can tell you there was loads of interaction. Steve-071 was in and he said the Woodward farce was defo about publicity and sympathy. Another great VanCam, Kev. Lee Davis, nice one, Kev. I said from the start, it's a fit up. If a mob of Reds went round Woodward's, the police would be there in a shot. Even if you fart too loud, they would turn up around the area. And that's what we have to look at. This is Millionaires Row in Cheshire. You're telling me no cameras seen these lads driving or whatever? GTA Red Star Gaming, 0 attacks on Woodward. The ex-Sun geezer takes the new job at United. There's an attack and the Sun has the exclusive. What is this? A fairy tale? And that is spot on, because Neil Ashton, like I said previously, worked for the Sun, and that's him that is now spinning this shit for Ed Woodward. He's trying to make him look good. That's my opinion. Russ Dillon, Kev, Top Red and Colombo in disguise. Respect for this. I showed my mates this and your tweet as they believed the hype. And it's very easy to believe what the media put out there. We only have to look at the fact of the way that the BBC, for instance, covered up what Jimmy Savile did. You know, this does happen. And we're spoon-fed this shit and meant to believe it and go with the sheep. Don't be a sheep. But on this one, and I ask you, was it a PR stunt? Did the Sun stage it? 91% of the vote voted in favour of yes. So that tells me a lot. And I'm glad that everybody watched my video, my previous video, and have looked into it, made your own decision on it. So 91% are now saying that the Sun staged this. We will wait, because like I said, Man United have issued a complaint against the Sun, which makes this even more interesting now, because if it is found out to be a PR stunt, then I can only think, for starters, Woodward is obviously in on it. He's going to be in the shit. So is Neil Ashton, who's just taken up this new role at Manchester United. So we'll wait and see. And I keep banging on and saying, anybody been arrested? No, the fuck. So then, for this week's question, Manchester United on deadline day wrapped up a deal for Ighalo. Yes, he's got Premiership proven quality, played for Watford, and he's been pissing around in the Chinese pub league, earning £300,000 a week, which is nice if you can get it. It's bloody brilliant, man. But anyway, he's taken a significant pay cut. Yeah, not a chance you're getting 300 grand at United. The question this week is a simple one. It happened on deadline day. Do you think it was a panic buy? That's the question for this week. It's a yes or a no. You have to weigh up all the pros and cons of this actual deal. For me, it's a kind of no-brainer. They obviously went in for Josh King, couldn't get him. I think United are definitely in the summer going to strengthen and bring in a quality proven striker. So Ighalo is, you know, he's better than what we've got. Martial is not a number 9. Rashford, you know, can't hold the line. We've actually got somebody here now who is a striker, and that is exactly what we are lacking. It remains to be seen how fit he's going to be. He's obviously in some, you know, rigorous training program at the minute. It's his dream move. He can't believe that it's happened. He said to his agent to make it happen. I'm interested to see how this one goes, but I'm sure there will be people who think this was a panic buy. The United have looked around and this is all they could get on deadline day, and they've just gone with it. Again, we're going to have to see how he performs against Chelsea if he's in the squad. If he gets a run of games, will he come off the bench or whatever? But the question this week is, Ighalo, panic buy, yes or no? And as always, you have to make a decision. You click on the eye up here, but there is no sitting up on that fence. And I'll tell you a very good reason why you would not want to sit up on the fence. I've got a mate, Big Barry, yeah? He's big. That's why we call him Big Barry. And we're in McDonald's one day. They do the box, don't they, of 20 nuggets. And he's beside himself. He don't know what to do. Do I go for the 20 nuggets? Do I get 2 Big Macs? He does not know what to do. He says, Kev, I'm going to go and sit out on that fence outside McDonald's, clear my head, and just try to come to some kind of compromise, some decision. That's the word, decision, the decision he needs to make. He goes out and he sits on this fence. He's fallen straight through it because he's Big Barry, and everybody in McDonald's is laughing. Look at the big man, kids, everything. He's mortified, man. He's never been back to Levenshulme McDonald's. Never again will he show his face round there. You know, it was awful, man. So make a decision.
The Big VanCam Debate.
Yay! I dream. That was the Big VanCam Debate. Make sure you click on the eye, cast your vote, drop a comment in Ighalo. Panic buy? Let me know what you think. Next, we're going to do CockStroker of the Week. 5 nominations this week. Who's going to get that top spot this week for the award that nobody wants? Let's find out, man.
The Big VanCam Debate.
Here we go with your dose of CockStroker of the Week. This week we have 5 nominations. Without further ado, let's get through and find out who's taken home the award that nobody wants. Nobody wants it. Coming in at number 5 is this rescue team. Now, an old woman went for a brisk walk in the field, coming to a bit of difficulty. She's on the deck, do you know what I mean? They've sent out air rescue. We've got a helicopter. We've got the people who know exactly how to rescue this old woman. So the helicopter goes over. Let's throw down the rope. You know what I mean? Let's attach her in a whatever it is. Yeah, that's why I'm not an expert. These are apparent experts anyway. So they start to bring her up. Nothing to see here, you know, just another day rescuing an old bird that's come into a bit of difficulty. That was until they come into a bit of difficulty and it starts spinning and spinning and spinning. And next minute, this old day is probably thinking, Jesus, man, I'm on the waltzers. What's going on in my head? I only hurt my leg. I thought I was being rescued. But it gets worse and it goes quicker and quicker and quicker. And she's on the waltzers, man. She don't know what's going on. The old day's probably thinking, I wish I would have stayed down there on the deck with me sore leg instead of going on this kind of Alton Towers kind of ride, you know what I mean? And she comes out worse than what she probably was in the first place. So for number 5 this week, the first one's coming in is this rescue team who got it awfully wrong.
She didn't know what was happening. George Metro was watching from the ground as his wife spun more than 150 times.
Oh my God.
Number 4. Now, I always look back at Cristiano Ronaldo as a prime example of somebody who just took the piss out of the opposition. I think back to the game that I was at when he was introduced as a substitute against Bolton, and he absolutely changed the game. We didn't know what to expect from him. United had paid about 12 million at the time for him. There's only one Ronaldo, we all sang, but we didn't know what to expect from him. Comes on, few step overs. We're like, yeah, this kid's got it. He's gonna be a star. And the rest is history. Now, we like to see tricks, flicks, and all that shit in football. We want to go along and be entertained by the best, the biggest names in the business. So, Neymar, playing for PSG, early on in a game, decides to rip out a rainbow flick. You know what one of them is? One of them. That's what I used to produce on a weekly basis for the Fiddlers Green in the Manchester Publicity League. Usually, I'd get a dig to the face or whatever, showing disrespect apparently. It was only because I was better than them. You know, these fat, pissed up guys on a Sunday morning try to get at Kev. I say, shut up, you fat knobhead. Anyway, I'm going off the subject here. Anyway, Neymar rips out the rainbow flick. And this is what fans want to see. You know, I'd shown it my kid, and he's buzzing off it. Kids buzz off shit like that. They'll try and do that in the playground. Guaranteed Monday morning, they're trying the rainbow flick. Yeah, I mastered it for the Fiddler's Green. Again, enough said. So, imagine Neymar rips out the rainbow flick, not the Neymar flick, could be. And the referee, to my surprise, goes over to Neymar and tells him to tone it down, lad. Don't want to see any of them fancy skills over here in this pub league, the French pub league. Don't be doing that. So Neymar loses the plot, and rightly so. He's going to say, well, who are you, you dickhead? I'm trying to rip a few skills out. I'm one of the best players in the world. You're just a referee. Referee books Neymar, books him. And this all stems from a referee up on his high horse telling Neymar to cut out the flicks, the rainbow flicks, skills, you know what I mean? And he ends up getting a booking for it. What has football really become? Coming in at number 3 is MUTV, the propaganda that they display and put out on a daily basis is evident to see in the clip that I am going to play. They basically put out everything that they want you to see, but do not mention the Glazers. Now, this lad that actually rang into MUTV was making some great points, you know what I mean? He's working his way up. The minute he mentions the Glazers, got it, cut him straight off. What a shower of dickheads.
Jacob in Manchester on line 10. Jacob, are you there?
Yeah, I am there.
Jacob, good evening. What are your thoughts today?
I just thought it'd be quite relevant to ask with Everett announcing his retirement. Since 2005, over 750 million has been spent on servicing the debt that the Glazer family have put on Manchester United.
Okay.
So just wondering what your thoughts.
We'll just stop you there. Thank you. So, I mean, you know,
You know something? There's not a football club anywhere that's not in there, is there?
I mean, you know, it's just a running theme, isn't it? I mean,
There's not a football club anywhere, but they're all included here.
yeah, I mean, let's...
They're all in debt,
emails from it.
are
Let's
they?
take a break from the phone.
Paddy's on the payroll.
Might be safer. We've got Ted in...
Yeah, so unless you're going to go on MUTV and praise everyone and say how great Man United are at the minute, well, there's no point ringing up, is there? Because if you ring up and you want to give your proper view and opinion, you're not going to get it across, because MUTV will not put it out and they will not stand for it. Propaganda at its finest. Brainwashed! Number 2 this week goes to my mate, the main man, Saeed. I'm watching a video the other week and it was bizarre to say the least. And this is no shot, cheap shot at the United stand, but they've managed to get on Red Army General Tony O'Neill, and he's doing this fan culture thing. So I'm thinking, I'm interested, man. I want to see and hear what O'Neill's got to say. Who's he going to get on? He's got Saeed on his first week or whatever. Right, okay, I'll have a listen to it. And in fairness, I'm ready to forgive and forget everything I've ever said about Saeed. He starts talking about the walkout, Tony shooting him down, saying what's the point of doing it and all that. Saeed saying stuff like, we're gonna walk out, we're gonna make a visual thing for everybody to see if it goes viral and it's gonna hit the sponsors and that. And I'm thinking, yeah, Saeed, he gets it, this lad. He does, I've got him all wrong.
The walkout, yeah, and you protest outside the stadium right there, yeah, and you get a whole United fan base, yeah.
They're laughing at you.
Yeah, but they're not laughing.
They're laughing at you.
If they come and join us, then don't laugh.
No,
For me, don't laugh. If you're not joining
Glazers
us, then I think you're not United fans.
You've got.
So after talking for more than 10 minutes about the big walkout, the 68th minute, all fans are going to walk out, visual protest and all that, against the Glazers, against the Woodward, against Ed Woodward. Yes, let's have it, let's have it. So at full time, Saeed shouldn't be in the stadium, should he?
CDM, or do you think he played 3 different positions? And he can do that. This is closer to Martial. Martial against 34. Martial, shocking. I can't defend that. You can't defend him.
Yep, I can only think that he thought, well, listen, it was 0-0 at the time against Wolves. He thought, I'm going to stick it out and I'll be able to put my video out. That video went out after the match had finished, which shows that he didn't actually walk out. So after beefing and saying all this shit about the walkout, he didn't walk out. Hypocritical.
First of all, then you start the process. When you got the protesting, yeah, and you do the 58-minute walkout, then the club see the mess and they say, you know what, it looks so bad on the television.
And that leaves me to tell you who's taken home the award that nobody wants. The #1 CockStroker, or should I say cockswinger. You probably ruined it for you. Right, let's just get into it, man. Newcastle score a late goal in the FA Cup, which sees them through to the next round. And I know from past experiences that when your team scores a goal, you can get carried away in the moment. I've done it myself. I remember at the Etihad, Paul Scholes scored that header last minute. And we're in the pub about an hour after, my mate said, did you take your top off when Scholes scored? Couldn't even remember because I got carried away in the moment. And then I remembered back, somebody else had seen me. Actually, did you have your top off in the Etihad? I did. So what, man? I took it off and I swung it round my head. You know what I mean? I just did it. I couldn't really remember doing it until I looked back. But moments like that, you can get carried away. But this guy, the Newcastle fan, I mean, what was going through his head, I will never know. He decided to do a helicopter. Now, the last thing you're going to think of grabbing when your team scores a goal is your cock. Because you've got to do the zip down. You just wouldn't think about it anyway. You grab a person next to you. You can go crowd surfing, jump around like a dickhead, take your top off like a dickhead. Do whatever. You do not get the schlong out and swirl it round. You know what I mean? There's kids. There's families at football and all that. Nobody wants to see this. But he has been given a lifetime ban, which when I look at it, I do think it's out of order. But I think it's out of order, the lifetime ban, especially when we see that some people are getting 3-month bans, maybe a season ban for racially abusing footballers. And for me, that tells you everything again about modern day football. But #1 this week is the Newcastle fan who decided to swing the schlong because his team had scored. Nice one.
CockStroker of the week.
Hey Steve, should we go and protest? I can't be arsed actually, I'm going to do this video. So there we go with CockStroker of the week. Leave your thoughts and feelings down below in the comment section. Do whatever the hell you want because I could not give 2 shits what you get up to. Yeah, within reason, like. Right, it's time to have a quick look at the VanCam Fantasy Football League. Things are getting as hot as a hot thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's have a very, very brief look at who's top, who's bottom, yeah. And then we're going to end with a brief look at a few of your comments.
The first cut is the deepest, baby.
Right, so a quick look at the VanCam Fantasy Football League. It is hotting up. There's movers, there's shakers. There's all kinds of shenanigans going on. Simon Williams is rocking the top spot. It's going to take a lot to move this man, but I'm pretty impressed with myself. Yeah, because I've moved up into 4th place. Keely's Wheelies Paul Johnson has gone down into 5th place. This is a bit of a false sort of look at the VanCam Fantasy League. Obviously, Man City against West Ham was called off because of Storm Kira. Down with them Storms! So that's kind of thrown it, because if you had a few Man City players like myself, we'll have a quick look at Kev's team. Yeah, De Bruyne or Aguero, I've lost my points there, but they're going to make it up because they're obviously going to play that game. It is scheduled for a week or so away. I got Salah as captain, and Jimenez has come in, a player that I would absolutely love to see at Man United. After seeing him against Man United, the problems he can cause, I'd go all out for him. He is a proper number 9. If you're looking and telling me that Tony Marshall is a number 9, I'm sorry, but in comparison, Jimenez is just, oh, yes. He reminds me a bit of Suarez, although he doesn't go around eating people, but, you know, he's proper mint, man. And then at the bottom, Torsten Sorgens. He's at the bottom, 2 points for the week. Again, it's a bit of false. I don't know whether this lad actually joined a bit late or whatever, but Moz Fitz as well in 61st place. Someone's taking home that wooden spoon this season, and I tell you something, it's not going to be me.
The first cut is the deepest, baby, I know.
Okie dokie, Phil, okay. Right, we have come to the end of the show. I was going to do your comments, but I've really run out of time. But I think it's only right that I thank the people who made super chat donations last week. And in typical ManUtd VanCam style, that means that we need a fiddle, a byron, you know, all them kind of classical instruments. Hit that beat! Right, Red TA, Red Star Gaming was in 199 into the pot. I had absolutely nothing to say but the finest of fair play to you. Alex Rudd, ManUtd VanCam's very own moderator, said I'm back this week. Last week I bottled it, don't know what that means. Is it a euphemism? Ooh, don't know, but Jarvis Cocker, we still don't know if it is Jarvis Cocker, was in there with 20 knocks. Great channel, Kev, pair up with the Flying Pig. It's something I am looking into, and I will be in touch with Mr. Flying Pig. Solomon Anthony Lee said, I believe the truth is somewhere in between. That was about Ed Woodward's house being attacked. Come on, sunshine, man! It was a PR stunt and we all know it. And then the big drum dropped in. It was Robert Ingram, threw in $24.99 of the US dollars and said, way to start my Monday, Kev. Always awesome. I appreciate that. So thank you very much. I'm going to stop this now because I'm going to have a heart attack. Right, so thanks for sticking with ManUtd VanCam. Hopefully this video has uploaded to YouTube and there's no issues this week. But thanks very much. Much appreciated as always for taking the time to actually watch this shit. I want to end on a note about the Glazers out, the anti-Glazer campaign, and what I will say is, from what I've seen against Wolves, this 68th minute walkout, what I will say is, and a lot of people are saying it's embarrassing, the amount of people that went out, there was say about 40, 50, 60, whatever people went out. We were expecting, or looking along the lines of being thousands, to make this visual protest on Sky Sports, for it to go out around the world. It did not happen. But what I will say is, to the 40, 50 lads, or lasses as well, sorry, that went out and made that dedicated choice to walk out of a game with 20 odd minutes left because of their love of Manchester United and hatred of the Glazers, respect and the finest of fair play to you. And to the ones like Saeed who beefed up all week, active on the old social media, it's all right being Billy Big Bollocks on the social media, throwing it out there, Glazers out, Glazers this. This is a man who said he was gonna walk out, make a stand, and then didn't. So to the ones that actually did and took the time out, fair play to you. That's what I would say, and that's the only way that these protests are going to work. What I will say is, as a United fan, I can never ever remember Man United, the fan base, being so divided and just split. I think it's an absolute shambles at the minute. I think you look at fan channels, fanzines like Red Issue, United We Stand, Red News, they just seem to be clashing. and nobody seems to be singing from the same hymn sheet. Everyone's arguing over what is the best thing to do. Should we protest? Should we not? And I just can never remember it ever being like this. I don't know what the way forward is, but it would be nice if they could get together and, you know, be united as one. But I can't see it happening, and as long as that continues, the Glazers continue to rinse the club that us as Man United fans love. Nice one. Sorry to leave it on a note like that, but I did want to touch on the actual walkout and what happened, and well, let's see in the future, yeah? So United's next match is away at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. What we thinking? Bruno Fernandes. Looks decent, doesn't he? He's had a bit of warm weather training. Hopefully he can get into his stride and start producing, because in the middle of the field, that's where we've been short. I'll love you, I'll leave you. Dave Birtwhistle, hope you had a cracking 50th this week, and if you're having a drink tonight, make sure you do. I am not out tonight. It's Valentine's night, Friday, as I'm talking now. I've decided to go out tomorrow night on the Saturday, take my wife out, because it's much cheaper. I'm joking. Couldn't get a babysitter for tonight, so there you go. Anyway, don't know how this is going to work. Anyway, come on! United! Can't see. I said your love, keep on lifting me higher and higher. Thanks very much for watching the video. You can also follow me on these other social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, plenty of fish. Oh yeah! Thanks to everybody who gets involved, comments, likes, shares, subscribes. Subscribing is the main thing. It costs you nothing, and why wouldn't you want to do it? This is ManUtd VanCam.